there, beautiful people. Welcome back to English Speaking Nerds. I'm Maya, your friend, your guide, and your English learning partner for today.
And I'm John. We're so happy you're here again. Seriously, every time we hit record, we imagine thousands of learners around the world. From the busy streets of Mumbai to the quiet cafes of Paris, from the mountains of Peru to the skyscrapers of Tokyo. We imagine you listening, learning, and growing with us. It feels magical.
It really does. It connects us. Before we jump in, if you're new here, hi, welcome home. We're the place where English learning meets real life. No boring textbook rules, no robotic dialogue that sounds like a machine from the 1990s. Just real, human English you can feel.
Exactly. We don't just want you to speak English, we want you to feel English. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now, because today's topic might honestly change the way you live your life and the way you learn English.
Yeah, it's that powerful. Today, we're talking about the daily habits that quietly shape your life, the invisible architecture of your day. Most people ignore them. They think habits are small, meaningless things. But the truth is,
Small habits create big futures.
let me start with something a bit personal. John, do you remember that time last year, around November, when I told you I felt stuck? Like my life was on repeat, like a broken record.
Oh, yes. I remember that call clearly. You sounded exhausted. You were waking up tired, going to sleep tired, and you felt like you were running on a treadmill, moving fast but going nowhere. And you know what? English learners around the world were writing to us with the exact same problem.
Right. And I realized something. My life wasn't bad. I had my health, I had this channel, I had friends. But my habits weren't helping me grow. I was waking up and checking my phone first thing. I was drinking coffee instead of water. I was falling asleep watching random loud videos that stressed me out. I wasn't giving my mind any space to breathe. And many of our listeners feel the same. They study hard, but they feel stuck. Why? Because your habits dictate the quality of your days. And the quality of your days decides the quality of your life.
Exactly. It's simple math, but we ignore it. And here's the crazy part. Most people don't even notice their habits until their habits start controlling them. We are what we repeatedly do.
So we need to stop and look at ourselves in the mirror. Let's look at the morning first, the foundation.
Let me ask the audience something. I want you to answer honestly in your head. What was the absolute first thing you did this morning, the moment you opened your eyes?
Right. Be honest. No judgment here. Did you stretch? Did you take a deep breath? Did you smile at the ceiling? Or did you grab your phone?
If you grabbed your phone, don't feel bad. A lot of people do. I used to be addicted to it. I used to wake up and instantly check messages, news, notifications, work emails. And guess what? My heart rate would start racing before I even got out of bed. My brain went from sleeping to panic mode in 3 seconds.
Same. It's like inviting the whole world with all its noise and problems into your bedroom before you've even brushed your teeth. And the moment you start your day with anxiety, the rest of your day follows that rhythm. You feel rushed. You feel behind. But when you start your day with intention, a calm breath, a stretch, one positive sentence, your whole world feels different.
You know what my new morning sentence is? It changed everything for me.
What is it?
I sit up, I put my feet on the floor, and I whisper, I deserve a peaceful day.
Oh, wow. I deserve a peaceful day. That's beautiful. It's reclaiming your time. Mine is a bit more active. I say, I am learning, growing, and becoming.
And you, listening right now, you can make this part of your English practice. This is the first habit we want you to steal. Yes, your first words every morning can be in English. Just one sentence. You don't need a textbook for this.
Something gentle, something motivating. Today is a fresh start. I am ready for challenges. I am calm and capable.
And that's the magic we want to talk about today. Daily habits aren't just for productivity or business. They are language learning tools.
Absolutely. This is the secret sauce. When you connect English to your real life, your morning coffee, your walk to work, your shower, your bedtime routine, English becomes natural. You don't study English. You don't visit English like a tourist. You live it. You inhabit it.
That's the difference between people who study for 10 years without progress and people who become fluent almost by accident. The fluent ones attached English to their habits.
Let me tell you a quick story, something that really touched me recently. We got a message from a learner in Turkey. Her name is Sarah. She sent us this long email, but one part stood out. She said, I listened to your podcast while brushing my teeth. It's my tiny English habit. And then she said something that made me stop reading for a second. She wrote, it's the only habit I've never broken.
I remember reading that. It was so simple, yet so profound. Because of that one small habit, just 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night, her listening improved like crazy.
Exactly. She didn't study for 3 hours a day. She didn't take expensive university classes. She just brushed her teeth and listened. That small habit changed her English ears.
You know, people think improvement needs huge, painful effort. They think they need to suffer to learn. But it doesn't. The hardest part is not learning, it's starting. It's showing up. Starting every day, even when you don't feel like it.
Let's be real for a moment. Let's talk about the motivation trap. Here's what usually happens to all of us. A learner gets inspired. Maybe they watch a movie or see a job opening. They say, that's it. Tomorrow I will study English for 2 hours. I will memorize 50 words.
They buy the books, they download the apps, they are ready.
Then the next day, life happens. Your boss yells at you. Your kids get sick. The traffic is bad. You get tired. So you postpone it. You say, I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes and you're still busy. You feel guilty. The guilt gets heavy. Then you stop completely.
We've all been there. That is the cycle of failure. We set the mountain too high.
But if you say, I'll just learn for 5 minutes. I'll just listen to one song. I'll just read one paragraph. Suddenly, you can do it anywhere. On the bus, while chopping onions, while waiting for the elevator, before bed. And you don't quit. Why?
Because it's small, it's simple, it's sustainable. It's impossible to say no to 5 minutes.
We call this habit stacking. You take a habit you already have, like drinking coffee, and you stack English on top of it.
So, coffee plus reading one English news headline. Commuting to work plus listening to English-speaking nerds. Washing dishes plus talking to yourself in English about your day.
Folding laundry plus watching one English YouTube video. Suddenly, you aren't finding time for English. English is writing along with your life.
Speaking of habits, let's talk about the one habit almost everyone is guilty of, the bad habit.
I think I know which one. Scrolling?
Oh, yes, the doom scroll. The I'll just look at Instagram for 5 minutes habit that magically becomes an hour of watching cat videos and people dancing.
Confession time. I used to do that almost every night. I'd tell myself just a little to relax, and suddenly the clock said 1:30 a.m., and my eyes hurt.
And then you'd wake up exhausted.
Exactly. And when you're tired, your brain can't learn well. Your mood drops, your focus disappears. Everything feels heavier. So I had to break that habit. But breaking a habit is hard. You can't just say, stop. You have to replace it.
That's a great point. You can't delete a habit, you have to override it. What did you do?
I changed the language I used. Instead of saying, I shouldn't check my phone, which feels like a punishment, I started saying, I choose rest. I choose to dream. I choose to recharge.
Wow, I choose rest. That sounds like a gift to yourself, not a rule.
Language shapes habits. Habits shape life.
And if English learners change their daily language, they change their daily actions. So instead of saying, I don't have time to learn English, or I have to study like it's a chore, say, I get to learn one thing today. I am giving myself the gift of knowledge.
That sentence alone can change your future. It changes the energy from I have to I want to.
Let's switch to a more emotional angle for a moment, because there's something deep we need to talk about. Many learners feel disappointed in themselves. We see it in the comments every day. They say, I'm not smart enough. I'm too slow. I keep forgetting words. I make mistakes. My accent is terrible. And these thoughts, these secret thoughts, become daily mental habits.
Yes, and mental habits are the most dangerous ones. We think habits are just actions, like running or smoking. But thinking is a habit too. If you think, I am stupid every time you make a mistake, that is a habit. And the ones in your head, they shape the way you talk, the way you learn, the way you live. So, to everyone listening, if you've ever felt guilty or ashamed about your English, if you've ever hesitated to speak because you were afraid of judgment, let's break that habit today, right now. Replace I'm bad at English with I'm learning English.
Replace I can't speak fluently with I'm practicing speaking every day.
Replace I always forget words with I'm building my memory step by step. See the difference? It's gentle. It's kind. It's true.
And kindness to yourself is a daily habit too. Probably the most important one. If you are cruel to yourself, your brain shuts down. It goes into defense mode. But if you are kind, your brain opens up. It becomes ready to absorb new information.
Maya, you mentioned something last week about the future you. Can you share that? It really stuck with me.
Yeah. Last week, I asked myself a simple question. What habits will future me thank me for? Imagine John in 5 years, or John in 10 years. What will he look back and say, thank you for? He won't thank me for scrolling on TikTok for 3 hours. He won't thank me for worrying about things I can't control. But future me will thank me for drinking water, for reading books, for sleeping well, for practicing a language, for calling my mom, for saying no to stress, for choosing peace.
Oh, that's beautiful. It shifts the perspective. You aren't doing the hard work for now you. You are doing it for future you. Audience, think about that. What is one small habit your future self will thank you for? Not a big commitment, not perfection, just one small, hopeful change. Maybe it's writing down 3 vocabulary words a day. In 1 year, that's over 1,000 words. Future you will have a massive vocabulary because present you took 2 minutes a day to write them down. Speaking of hopeful, let me share a story that still makes me emotional. There was a listener from Vietnam named Min. Min's story is familiar to many. He said he wanted to learn English for 10 years. 10 years! But he always quit. Every time he felt motivated, he'd start strong, study for hours, buy the grammar books, and stop after a week.
The classic boom and bust cycle.
Exactly. He felt like a failure. Until one day, he heard someone say, "Don't try to be perfect. Try to be consistent." And he decided to lower the bar. Just 10 minutes every night. He would listen to English podcasts while washing dishes after dinner. That's it. 10 minutes. No grammar books, no tests, just listening. No excuses. Even if he was tired, he had to wash the dishes anyway, right?
Smart. He attached it to a chore.
After a year, he messaged us, "I think in English now," without translating. And then he wrote the sentence, the one that made me cry. "English used to be my fear. Now it's my friend."
Oh, wow. English used to be my fear. Now it's my friend. I got chills.
It shows the power of tiny habits. Habits don't just teach you skills, they rebuild your identity. Min stopped being a guy who fails at English and became a guy who listens to English.
Let's talk about evening habits too, because evenings shape your tomorrow. How you end the day matters just as much as how you start it. Maya, what do you do every night before sleeping?
I have a little ritual. It's my sanctuary. I put my phone away, far away, in another room if possible. I make a cup of warm tea, chamomile or peppermint, soft music, and I write. I write one sentence about my day in English. I keep a small notebook by my bed.
Just one sentence?
Just one. Sometimes more if I feel like it, but the rule is just one. Sometimes it's simple. I learned a new recipe today. I tried my best at work. I survived a difficult moment. Sometimes it's emotional. I'm proud that I didn't give up when I felt anxious.
That's beautiful. It's like closing the chapter of the day. My evening habit is talking to myself. Not in a weird way, in a reflective way. I usually do this while I'm brushing my teeth or washing my face. I ask myself 3 questions. 1, what went well today? 2, what can I improve tomorrow? 3, what am I grateful for? And answering those questions in English is powerful. It's emotional learning.
That is so smart. Because when emotions connect with language, memory becomes stronger. If you just memorize a list of vegetables, you forget them. But if you describe your feelings, your brain holds on to those words. Emotional habits make English unforgettable.
And gratitude? Gratitude rewires the brain to look for the good. If you end your day thinking about good things in English, you go to sleep feeling successful.
Let's expand on that environmental design concept for a second. We talked about the phone being a distraction. One thing that helped me build a reading habit in English was simply putting the book on my pillow.
On the pillow?
Yes. In the morning, after I make my bed, I put my English book right on the pillow. So when I come into the room at night, I have to move the book to get into bed. It's a visual cue. It says, hey, remember me? Just read one page.
That's brilliant. You make the habit obvious. If you want to learn English, don't hide your books in a drawer. Put them on the coffee table. Put sticky notes on your bathroom mirror. Make your environment scream English at you. Let's talk honestly for a moment. There will be days when you don't feel like learning English. There will be days when you don't feel like being kind to yourself. Days when everything feels heavy. Days when motivation disappears. Days when you feel like you are moving backward.
Yes, the bad days. We all have them, even us. And on those days, you need habits more than motivation. Motivation is like the weather. It changes. Some days it's sunny, some days it storms. But habits? Habits are like the shelter. They stay.
I love that analogy. Motivation is a feeling. Habit is a structure.
Yes, on days when motivation is 0, habits carry you. Your brain might resist. Your emotions might say, not today, I'm too tired. Your fear might say, it's useless. But your habit says, it's just 5 minutes. You can do it. Just brush your teeth and listen. Just write one sentence. And you do. And that one small action protects your progress.
It protects your streak. And there is a rule I try to follow. Never miss twice.
Oh, tell us about that.
If I miss one day of practice, maybe I was sick, maybe I traveled, that's okay. Life happens. But I make a promise to myself. I will not miss 2 days in a row. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit, a quitting habit. So, if you missed yesterday, forgive yourself. But show up today, even for 1 minute, just to prove to yourself that you are still in the game.
That is so crucial. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about returning. It's about coming back to the road every time you step off. Let's give our listeners a tiny, realistic challenge. If you're listening, imagine your English journey as a long road. Not a race, not a competition with your neighbor or your coworker. Just your personal road. Every day, you take one small step. Some days, you walk fast. Some days, slowly. Some days, you pause to catch your breath. But you don't walk backward. And even slow steps lead to the destination.
Wow, that's the truth right there. And think about the compound effect. If you improve just 1% every day, just a tiny bit, by the end of the year, you aren't 365% better. You are 37 times better. Because knowledge builds on knowledge. Confidence builds on confidence. Before we wrap up, Maya, I want to ask you something meaningful. We've talked about habits for English, for mornings, for evenings. But what's one daily habit that truly changed your life? Inside.
That's a big question. Honestly, talking kindly to myself. I used to be my own biggest bully. I would look in the mirror and criticize. I would make a mistake and call myself stupid. But when I started saying things like, it's okay, you're trying, you're learning, I'm proud of you for handling that, everything changed. My confidence grew, my English teaching improved because I wasn't afraid of making mistakes anymore. My relationships became softer because I wasn't so stressed, and I became someone I liked. What about you, John?
For me, the habit that changed everything was journaling. I used to keep everything inside. All my worries, my stress, my confusion. It was like a storm in my head. Even writing 3 sentences a day helped me understand my fears, my dreams, my mistakes. It got the storm out of my head and onto paper. And writing in English made my language stronger because I was expressing real emotions, not just textbook sentences. I learned the words for anxiety, for hope, for resilience, because I needed them to explain my life.
That is the power of English. It gives you a new voice to understand yourself. All right, my beautiful listeners, we want to leave you with something emotional, something powerful, something true. Your daily habits are not small. They are whispers that shape your future. They are seeds planted in the dark soil of today that grow into the bright flowers of tomorrow.
You are building a masterpiece, one brushstroke at a time. Don't look at the empty canvas and get scared. Just paint one stroke today.
Every small habit you choose, one English sentence spoken aloud, one podcast listened to on the bus, 1 minute of reflection, one gentle breath, creates a version of you who is more confident, more capable, more alive.
You don't have to change your whole life today. That is too scary. Just change one small thing. Drink water. Or write one sentence. Or listen to one song. And do it again tomorrow. And again. Tiny habits create big transformations.
And listen, if nobody has told you this recently, we're proud of you. Truly, because you're here. You could be doing anything else, but you are listening, learning, growing, improving, showing up for yourself. That is not small. That is powerful. That is bravery.
And we'll be right beside you on this journey. We're not going anywhere. Every episode, every conversation, every step.
So tell us in the comments, what tiny English habit will you start today? Will it be the morning sentence? Will it be the 2-minute listen? Will it be choosing rest? Commit to it in the comments. Writing it down makes it real.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, open your heart, get your finger ready, and click that button. Join our global family of English learners. We are building a community of kind, curious, growing people. We want you with us.
Stay kind, stay curious, stay consistent, and keep growing, one small habit at a time.
We love you all. Really. See you in the next episode.
Bye for now.